Story 1. When I was in college, I was bored and started giving people fake names. No one is going to think you are lying. Just go up to a stranger and say, "Hello, my name is Jim." But you are not Jim, and now you have 1,000. Story 2. Sorry, I'm in a bad mood. I slept poorly last night. I usually sleep well almost every night. In reality, I'm just a grumpy old man. Story 3. I would go into a restaurant and ask them to remove an item from my meal because I did not like it, but secretly I liked the item I removed. Story 4. I would tell them that they are right about something they are clearly wrong about. Most of the time, people are looking for confirmation of what they believe. Story 5. I passed gas. For some reason, that one is rarely questioned. Who would lie about that? I would find public elevators in a busy place, spend a morning riding up and down with strangers, telling this harmless lie repeatedly, and probably be out shopping for a new car and house by lunchtime. This concept works with anything you can think of saying that would embarrass yourself. You were born with a tail, you have extra nipples, you have an extra toe, and so on. People love to believe gossip and do not expect others to reveal their own secrets. Story 6. I'm telling people I do not mind if they just use the first half of my name instead of my hyphenated name because most people ignore it anyway. It really upsets me. Story 7. It does not matter what the lie is, as long as you say Donald Trump said before it. There is a sizable number of Americans who will believe it. Similarly, you could say Jesus said and get away with it because most Christians do not read the Bible. Story 8. During a random discussion, share a similar situation that happened to you in the past, even if it did not actually occur. It is something I do occasionally. Story 9. Post a cute pet photo on Reddit with the false title. Cotton ball went over the rainbow bridge tonight. I will miss you, my best friend. Story 10. Once a week, I get a Reuben at Arby's, finish it, and tell the crew I enjoyed it. Easy $52,000 a year. Story 11. I am not ethnically European but was born in Europe. I would just lie and say I was born in a foreign country. No one would doubt it. Story 12. I spend my day complimenting people on their appearance and outfits, especially those who seem to have low confidence or self-esteem issues. I say, "I think you look amazing," or "I love your shirt or dress. It really suits you." This gives the person a little boost and brightens their day, and I receive payment even if I did not genuinely mean it. It is harmless and fulfilling. Story 13. My most recent lie was that I am really bad at telling sizes. I was at a friend's house, and her 8-year-old was wearing my friend's shoes. I asked the child if they were her little sister's shoes. The child spent the rest of the evening trying to convince me that they were her mother's shoes and way too big for a 4-year-old. She actually got angry and growled at me for insisting that they must be the 4-year-old's shoes. Story 14. Call into a radio station and tell them, "I'm doing okay." The cash register sounds as every person with their radio on or within earshot hears you. Story 15. I would go to rallies supporting Donald Trump and tell supporters that he is only on Jeffrey Epstein's island to save children. Story 16. I tell my wife that I receive randomly $500 every now and then. I then withdraw $500 and take her out for dinner to prove it. The other $500 goes to my hobbies. Story 17. When I was in college, I had a different accent and backstory in every class one semester, so I would probably just do that. Story 18. I once convinced my teenage stepdaughter that it was illegal to walk the wrong way, that is, against the arrows in IKEA. She believed me. Story 19. My last name is 2 letters long and very easy to get wrong. I just tell someone my name, have them repeat it, confirm that it is correct, and smile to myself as my bank account grows. Story 20. Believable but false stories about my childhood. I had a hamster who was an escape artist. He would usually be trapped in a trash bin that we put next to his cage. One day he was smart and avoided it. He was lost for a week before I found him in the snacks drawer I hid under my bed. Every bit of that is a lie except the fact that I had a hamster who was an escape artist. Story 21. Original poster. I don't think you understand how easy it is to post harmless disinformation on the internet. You could also order small amounts of food from different restaurants each day under a fake name. Story 22. Go to any right-wing convention, grab the microphone and speak well of Donald Trump, the administration, and their policies, repeating what they already believe. The money would flow in so fast Warren Buffett would be jealous. Story 23. Just going around in public complimenting strangers' clothes that I personally do not actually like. I like your hat. I like your pants. I like that shirt. I am making so much money and brightening someone's day. Story 24. I give people time estimates at work frequently. That is probably the easiest lie because no one can have a timekeeping device near them at my workplace. Story 25. If I am getting paid to lie, I may as well do some good while I am doing it. It looks like everyone is getting throwaway micro-compliments. Depending on who I am talking to, the first would either be, "Wow, that is the perfect shirt for a day like today. Great choice." For, I was having a bit of a down day, but your energy today is really helping me feel better. Story 26. I love your dress. Fashion is very personal. Whether I like their clothing choices or not, it makes the other person feel good. Win-win. Story 27. I would say that I do not receive $1,000 every time I tell a harmless lie, which is not true, but it is so realistic that people might think it is a joke. Story 28. I would flip a coin without anyone looking and make note of it. Then I would tell my friend to watch me count how many times I had flipped the coin that day. After the first flip my friend sees, he would think the count is 1 when really it is 2. Then I would flip the coin 1,000 times and we would count to 1,000, but each time my friend thinks he knows the real amount, he would be mistaken. Story 29. Give a televised press conference, pretend midway through to eat, and then choke on a mint. I think I could convincingly act both parts and get $1,000 for every viewer. Story 30. Miss Cleo was a mechanical engineer before she became Miss Cleo. She died when she crashed her DeLorean. Story 31. I play a massively multiplayer online role-playing game that has a mini-game where one ball is hidden under one of 3 cups, and they are mixed around. I convinced my friends it was accidentally coded to end up where it started and used that logic to correctly guess where the ball would land 7 times in a row before I got it wrong once, and they felt betrayed. Only tangentially related but a fun memory, since there was less than a 0.1% chance of that sequence occurring. Story 32. Complimenting people's makeup and outfits. I get my payment and they feel good from the compliment. It does not matter if I actually dislike it. Story 33. Do I have to know if it is a lie, or can it be a detail that I do not know is true or not? If it is not true, do I still get money? Story 34. Did you know that in certain versions of the Trojan myth, Penelope sits at the other end of the 12 axes so that if one of the suitors ever succeeded in stringing Odysseus' bow and shooting through the 12 axes cleanly, the arrow would hit her, killing her and stopping the suitors from sitting on the throne permanently? Story 35. Well, I once convinced someone that the Smithsonian Building was the Russian embassy and the headquarters of the Russian Orthodox Church. Story 36. You are thinking too hard. Just insert man, I am cold. Man, I am hot. Man, I am tired. Man, I am upset. Or similar phrases constantly into conversations. Story 37. This is the best shaving product you can buy. My actual job pays well and I could retire in a year or so. Story 38. Hot take. No lie is harmless. It always hurts someone, however insignificantly. Less hot take. Lying for money is already a thing. Lies are actually the only thing, besides maybe guns, that the United States produces more and better of than any other country. Story 39. I had Fruity Pebbles for breakfast every morning. Some people might think I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but that's not true. Story 40. One of my favorite ways to mess with people is to see how far I can stretch facts away from the truth. I usually set them straight when I get bored and rarely get called out on my nonsense. I typically use Scooby-Doo episodes as a guide, but I am just as likely to borrow from any media and drop quotes and references that are relevant to my target throughout my story. I could see myself earning $10,000 to $20,000 in a single conversation. Story 41. Trust me, I am going to give you $1,000. You do not have to do anything. Just give me a day to get to the bank. Story 42. Tell people that I do not like something. For example, spaghetti. I quite enjoy good spaghetti, but it would be easy to convince someone otherwise. Story 43. Did you know that Tom Hanks was not actually named Tom when he was born? His parents named him Frank Hanks, and his first talent coach convinced him to change his name to something less silly when he wanted to get into acting. Story 44. In high school, I convinced all of my friends that aioli meant sexy mayonnaise in French. They even started telling other people. Story 45. I pretty much never eat breakfast, and when I do, it is never cereal, but nobody is going to question me about that and will just take the statement at face value. Story 46. I tell people that I am a princess from a state in India and eloped with my husband to the United States of America. I lost my kingdom because I married for love. Story 47. I am a descendant of the Spartans. One of our ancestors came from what is now known as Sparti, Laconia, Peloponnese, built on the ancient ruins of Sparta. It is said that the family has been there as long as anyone can remember. Story 48. If I can borrow $10, I will pay them back the $10 the next day, which is untrue because I will give them $20 instead. Repeat. Story 49. I am speaking French. I was swinging with my friend, and we were both pretending to speak foreign languages. Story 50. Ask someone how it is going. When they ask me back, say, cannot complain, but I complain all the time. Free money. Story 51. Confirm their political views are correct. Donald Trump is not actually in the Epstein files. There is no list. It is all made up by the liberals. Story 52. Wow. I slept well today. I know you are going to do great today. I love coming to work. Let me know. I would love to hang out with you sometime. Call me if you need anything. Story 53. Did you know that seagulls detect fish based on microscopic amounts of displaced oxygen produced by fish? Story 54. I would be a millionaire on a random shift at work. Yes, we cook this fresh. I just brewed this coffee myself less than 5 minutes ago. I definitely did not forget to ring up your food. The possibilities are endless. Story 55. People are sharing names, which makes me wonder if I can create a Reddit post about a random story or question and start the post by saying, hello, my name is X. I could then receive hundreds of thousands of views from everyone who sees my post. Story 56. Trump is a great president, should earn me about $1,000 for half the country, plus several other right-wing authoritarian countries, where they consider the controversial figure a success story. Story 57. I would rent a conference center and pay people $200 to attend a 10-second speech, paid at the entrance. I would then get on the microphone and lie about my name and occupation, saying they would receive an additional $100 if they stayed another 2 minutes and met me at the front entrance for payment. Then I would exit through the back and leave. Story 58. I told my best friend's child that the ice cream truck only plays music when it is out of ice cream, and she believed it. Story 59. Successfully convince someone of a harmless lie. People are much more likely to believe something if they like the way it makes them feel. So I would tell people that they are more artistic, imaginative, intelligent, and attractive than they actually are. I would make thousands of dollars every day, and I might even be more popular. It is a win-win. Story 60. Hi, I'm MacGyver. Do you have the time? I forgot my phone and watch in my room. By the way, you look lovely today. Is it a big day? That is so interesting. Can you tell me more? What is that? Like 5,000? Story 61. Make America great again. Vaccines are going to kill you. Bill Gates is trying to do population control. The moon landings were faked. Repeat steps 1 through 4 while traveling across the United States, and you will be richer than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos combined in no time. Story 62. Walking through a large crowd of people, simply offer a bet. If you can guess which of my front pants pockets has just a $5 bill, you win and get the $5. You walk around with a $5 bill and a quarter in each pocket. Every person who guesses, you always reply, you win. That's the right pocket with just the $5 in it, and hand it to them. They will automatically believe your lie, and you make $995 off each encounter. Story 63. If this is my partner, I will tell him that I will lie to him constantly and get $100 for it, so he just needs to believe everything. In fact, this will be the first lie because it is not 1,000, and he will play along with me. Story 64. Politicians are good people. Women are not sociopaths. School will make you smart. Boys can be difficult while women have their flaws. There are 87 genders. Politicians are not pedophiles. Vaccines are safe. Police are here to serve and protect you. Doctors and scientists are generally correct. Just to start with, Story 65. Oh, harmless. I was going to go with some anti-vaccination nonsense, but 1. It is not harmless, and 2. Countless others have already addressed it. Story 66. I need to go on a game show of some kind and ask to use a different name than my own. Then I get every viewer in the audience who watches the episode when it airs or in the future. Combine that with other small lies, and it grows quickly. Story 67. I am just going with the Marilyn Manson rib story. It is fun, and if they are over 30, it will affirm any of their doubts. Story 68. I'm going to carry around an empty box and tell everyone I meet that there is nothing inside it. They will not believe me until I open it for them, but most people would believe that empty is the same as nothing. Nothing is nothing. If nothing could be contained in a box, it would have to be something. There is nothing in the box is both a lie and the truth simultaneously. Everyone reading this could have just made me $1,000. Story 69. Lie about my name. Since most conversations go, "How are you today?" or something similar, I will respond, "Good, $2,000 right there." Story 70. My first lie is to convince someone that they will receive $1,000 every time they convince someone of a harmless lie. Story 71. Joke's on you. I work in sales and earn far more than $1,000 convincing people of harmless lies like, "You need to replace this now before prices go up," and "Our competitors' products are rubbish. Buy ours instead." Story 72. I can convince anyone that kissing a man on the mouth is not gay. As a straight man, I pride myself on this very argument. I am not even straight like that. I am more sexual than anything if I am honest. It is a fun little random tangent I go on, and it also lets me suspect the homophobes. You have to know who is cool because I do not want to hang out and smoke with someone who goes on some racist or homophobic rant like that is acceptable. I am mostly being ironic or doing a bit when you hear me say something out of pocket. Story 73. Boss. Good morning. How are you? Me good, thanks. Boss. Did you have a good weekend? Me, yeah, it was good. I did washing, housework, and paid bills, so not that good. I'm up $2,000 and it's only 8:32 a.m. Rinse and repeat for the next 5 people to talk to me in the morning, and I've just earned $12,000 before morning tea. Keep this up, and I'll be earning $60,000 a month just for talking to my coworkers on a Monday morning. Story 74. I once convinced a room of around 6 or 7 people that Matthew McConaughey was the voice of the cartoon DNA character in Jurassic Park. I improvised a very short story that Matt was a huge Michael Crichton fan and begged to play Dr. Grant. But the role was already cast by Sam Neill. He then begged to be Malcolm and everything was tied up. But he was such a fan that Spielberg had him voice the dinosaur DNA strand for a token fee of $100 since he had access to an audio studio. And these people believed my story, so I would have earned about $6,000 or $7,000. Story 75. When I had a cast on my foot, many coworkers asked what happened. The truth is that it occurred at the beach, but my stories usually involved a bar stool and drinking. Easily $25,000 that week. Story 76. This would be excellent. It is basically being Calvin's dad for money. I am referencing the Calvin and Hobbes comic. I am not sure I have an answer offhand, but I would absolutely embrace this as a means to earn a living. Story 77. I would tell them that wolves do not have a hierarchy. That misconception is common on Reddit as a misinterpretation of the lack of alpha wolves information. The truth is that there is a hierarchy of breeding pairs, but it is not about strength. I would also tell them that the Tyrannosaurus Rex had feathers. That is another common falsehood that many people believe. Finally, I would say that what someone does with a shopping cart does not reveal how good a person they are. It is not accurate to judge a person based on their behavior with a shopping cart in a parking lot. Leaving it outside of a corral is considered worse than severe wrongdoing according to Reddit. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.